how does one find a deal? What should they be looking for to find a deal? And if you want, you can go ahead and do how to find a deal for a wholesale perspective, how to do a deal, obviously, from a fix and flip, and then maybe one for holding if you want.
Yeah. So I think for all three, the process, how you first go about it is the same. You know, we want to get a deal that's under market value, right? Now, because at the end of the day, we don't want to just buy market value houses. I mean, we want to get instant equity if we're going to buy a home.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, man, how do I increase my net worth and everything else? It's like, dude, if you buy a property that you have $100,000 in equity, well, look, dude, I mean, you're worth $100,000 now. I mean, you want to go sell it one day, you could sell it. If you want to flip it, you could flip it, or just keep it and let it appreciate. And it's going to be worth a lot as time goes on. So I think the number one key when it comes to deals is just determining how much like equity you want in every single deal. And I think a great place to start for most is we want to be all into deals at 80%. You know, that's kind of our maximum limit. So if, you know, the property is worth, I don't know, $400,000, I want to be 80% of that. You know, that would be $320,000. That's what I want my all-in amount to be. Because here's the thing. If I'm going to wholesale, I know I can wholesale it still and make money. If I'm going to flip at $320 all in, I'm going to make money. And if I keep it as a rental, I can do what, you know, it's called a BRRRR. I don't know if people, you know, you guys talked about BRRRR at all.
We have. But you can go ahead and describe it to people because that's it's a very important for people that, especially getting their feet wet in this.
Yeah. So BRRRR stands for buy, renovate, rent, refinance, and then repeat. So, you know, if I bought it at a great price, I fixed it up, I'm all in at $320, I go rent it out, it's cash flowing. I'm then going to go refinance the loan, which in most cases you could refinance at 80% of ARV. So I'm all in already at 80% of ARV, $320, it's worth $400. I can technically own this rental property with no money in the deal. And I've done this many, many times on rental properties. I've done it on my own personal house. Actually, I'll tell you a story. So the current house I live in, okay, this is just an illustration of like an amazing deal and why people, you know, why people would buy from wholesalers, why wholesalers can make money. So my personal house, okay, this wholesaler got the deal under contract for $1.6 million. All right. Mm-hmm. He sold it to me for $1.8 million. So I paid him a $200,000 wholesale fee. Yep. $200,000. Like people make six-figure wholesale fees. I've seen people make seven-figure fees.
Yeah.
So we're not just talking like this is a $5,000 thing or a $10,000 thing. It can be massive deal. The bigger the deal, the bigger your fee is, right? I mean, you can only make so much on, I say, a $50,000 house. But, you know, when you're talking a $2 million property, you can make a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So I bought it for 1.8. I ended up putting in 1.2 million into fixing it up. It needed a ton. It was like the guy ran out of money during the new build, so I finished it off, and I was all in at $3 million. Well, it ended up appraising at $3.9 million. So there was over $900,000 of equity. So it's essentially like that one house basically made me a millionaire if I was just looking at that one deal.
Yeah.
And, you know, I live in it right now, but, you know, long story short, I was able to refinance it, get a loan for $3 million, and
wow,
I have no money into the deal.
Wow. That's crazy. And you were able to do that with a house that you were living in, which typically when you're moving into the home, you get way better terms. Yeah.
That's smart.
Wow. That's crazy stuff, man. That's the
bro.
Power right there. And
that's just getting a good deal. It doesn't matter what you're going to do, whether wholesale, flip. Everyone did good there. The wholesaler made $200,000.
Yep.
I technically am going to flip it. Well, I bought and hold it for the last 2 years.
Yep.
But now I'm going to sell it and make money.
Yep. So you mentioned something really important before. All in. Can you explain this all in and what that encompasses? I'm assuming you're talking closing costs and everything else like that, but can you kind of explain that to the audience that might not necessarily be familiar with real estate terminology?
Yeah, all in would just be, you know, how the purchase price plus the renovation expenses. So, you know, if I bought it for $300 and I put $20,000 of renovation, you know, I'm all in for $320 and it's worth $400.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I think that's something that's very important that people obviously need to take into account where, when you're buying a home, it's not just you're buying the home. You also got to pay, well, if you have a wholesaler, of course, there's a finder's fee, and then closing costs and everything else like that as well would come into it.
Ryan, real quick, just before we do the chats, if you're 20 years old now, go back in time, what would you do to make money, and how would you start your financial success route now at 20 years old?
Well, let me preface this by saying I've done so many side hustles over the years. I mean, I was flipping couches. I was substitute teaching. Things like Uber and Lyft didn't exist yet. I've done content creation. I've done being a realtor, being a wholesaler. Man, I've tried everything you can imagine. I used to flip cell phones and different things.
Damn.
Dude, I've hustled my whole life just trying to figure out ways to make money. Yeah, I played pro sports and did that career.
But Ryan, you got lucky, bro. You're not a millionaire. But Chance, you got lucky, bro. See all the hard work you put in at the very beginning? There you go.
No, you have to try a bunch of things to figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my perspective is like I've tried everything that I see all the 20-year-olds wanting to do. I tried Turo just for fun, just to see what would happen. I mean, I've tried it all. And I mean, I said this earlier, but I can transparently say I don't think there's anything better than wholesaling. Because like, let's just say you were going to go do Turo, right? It's like you go buy one car, you still got to put money into this thing, finding a car or whatever.
Car market's terrible too.
Bro, I did the car rental game here. Bro, I got wrecked.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Sucks.
bro, it's tough. Dude.
Bro, it's so risky, right? Somebody jacks up your car, insurance doesn't pay out.
Steal it.
Like, bro, it's so risky. And to make what? $500 for the month? $1,000, like maybe? So what's the point? Whereas wholesaling, you do the same, you're hustling still, but you can make 20 grand.
Yeah.
And you know that, and you have no risk. Like, that's the crazy part.
Yeah. If anything, like with wholesaling, really the thing that you're going to be spending the most is time. That's what you're going to be, doing. But once you get good at finding deals, etc., and you got people that are looking for deals, then it just kind of becomes like almost an assembly line approach.
But guys, if you're starting out, you're a brokey man, try different things, man. You never know what's going to hit, but try multiple things to see what happens for you. Some chats real quick?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and hit some chats here. And then, guys, we're going to be having a Zoom call with our Castle Club people, Castle Club Premium and regular Castle Club. We're going to send the link out. Our Castle Club Premium guys are going to be in the Zoom call asking questions, but we're going to televise it to the Castle Club guys so you guys can actually get that sauce behind the scenes.
There you go.